Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about kind of a central theme to my channel. I think it's pretty self-evident. You look at the title of the video, you look at the title of my channel, Never Enough Ammo. Today I want to talk a little bit about how much ammo do you need. Now obviously, me personally, I subscribe to the ideology that there is never enough, that you just keep buying more ammo. Right? You just keep building your supply and your stockpile. Go buy some every paycheck. Every paycheck, go spend a few bucks, 10, 20, 30 bucks, go buy a box or two of ammo. Just keep that collection growing over the weeks and the months and the years. Just keep adding to your stockpile. Things happen, bad things happen. Look at what happens when some politician comes up and tries to push for some anti-gun legislation. There's a run on ammo all across the country. People like myself, we're not hurt by that. Other people, if you didn't stock up, if you didn't go by that mentality of never enough, you may have been hurt by that. Remember 2012, 2013, even into early 2014, you couldn't find 22 or 223 or 5.56 or 9mm. People like myself who had been stocking up for a while, we were fine. So that's the mentality I subscribe to. Okay, but I understand not everybody does, and I get messages every day on Facebook and YouTube and in my email saying, okay, look, I have this gun and this gun, or this gun and this gun, and this is my purpose for this, or this is my purpose for this, and I know you're never enough ammo, but let's be honest here, how much ammo do I really need? Okay, so that's what I want to do in this video is kind of take a step back from my personal ideology and try and put some information out there that might be helpful for people that aren't going to do that, that are not going to just continually buy ammo. They want to hit a certain point and then they're happy. I don't agree with that, but I'll try to give you guys the best advice I can if that's how you are. Okay, so first let's talk hunting. Okay, if you have hunting rifles, if hunting is something you want to do, how much ammo should you keep around for hunting? 100 to 200 rounds, okay? Because honestly, most hunters don't even go through that much. You go through a handful of boxes, 3, 4 boxes in a season, right? A box or two to get your rifle sighted in at most. And then even if you're an active hunter, 1 or 2 boxes throughout the entire season, and even that, I mean, who goes through that many boxes, right? When you're hunting, right? It's just not something that you do a lot of. It's not something you need a lot of. So 100 to 200 rounds per hunting caliber. You know, I've got 30-30 and 30-06, and I always keep ammo around just for hunting season for those. Now, me being who I am, I obviously keep more than a couple hundred rounds in those calibers, but if that's all I was concerned with, 100 to 200 rounds in those 2 calibers, and I'd be fine. So that's what I recommend for your hunting rifles. Now, for defense, there's a couple levels of defense. Level 1, okay, is you're the person that has a handgun, maybe a go-to rifle, something like that. Maybe you've got a shotgun, whatever it may be. And you go to the range occasionally. You shoot off some rounds. You try to keep yourself, you know, comfortable with your firearms, but you want enough ammo to kind of keep your mags loaded, keep everything set, and be able to occasionally go to the range. Of course, your ammo supply, you know, you have to constantly keep filling. So every time you go to the range and burn through 100 rounds, you've got to replenish that. So if you're this level of self-defense junkie, let's say, 500 rounds per caliber. So if that's an AR and 5.56, 500 rounds. Glock 19 and 9mm, 500 rounds. You got a shotgun laying around your house, 500 rounds. Okay, that's the level you should be at. Now, step it up to self-defense level 2. Not only do you like to do all those things, but you like to go to training classes as well. And you like to burn off more than the average amount of ammo when it comes to doing your training, that kind of thing. Well, then you want to step it up, same as we talked about before, for all the different calibers, for the different firearms you may have, to 2,000 rounds per caliber. The only exception to that is going to be your 12 gauge or your shotgun or whatever it is. You just don't need per se 2,000 rounds of 12 gauge because that's not particularly the type of gun you're going to be going and using at a lot of the classes and things like that. There are some shotgun training classes that some people will go to. It's just not the norm. So I would say 500 to 1,000 rounds somewhere in there of shotgun and you'll be just fine. But 2,000 rounds of everything else to keep on constant supply so that you can go to these classes, you can go to the range, you can do what you need to do, you can keep all your mags loaded and you've got everything set. Now, let's step it up to preppers, okay? My fellow preppers out there, how much should you have on hand in all your go-to calibers? When it comes to your go-to rifles and your go-to handguns, 5,000 rounds each. Now if that's one good AR and one good Glock, cool. If that's an AR, an AK, a Glock, and I don't know, a Smith & Wesson revolver, cool. Still 5,000 rounds per each caliber. Now, I'll still leave the hunting rounds down a little bit. I'll say 500 rounds at least for a prepping scenario, because you can't just go to the store again in a bad situation, but you want to have at least 500 rounds for your go-to hunting rifle, and again 500 to 1,000 rounds for your shotgun as well. Okay, so that's where I put you. If you're just a basic prepper, that's where you should be. If you consider yourself a prepper and you've got a handgun, you should have at least 5,000 rounds of ammo for that handgun. After that, we step into basically people like myself. We're worried about not only hunting, not only basic self-defense, not only enhanced self-defense, going to classes, going to training, shooting as much as possible, not only prepping for shit at the fan scenarios and whatever else, but we're also worried about political situations. We're also, worried about what happens if your government decides to turn on you, that kind of thing. Those are extreme circumstances, I understand, but that's when you get up to the level that I'm at, where it's like it's never enough. So that's basically my breakdown for hunting, for basic self-defense, enhanced self-defense, and prepping across the board. Hopefully it was helpful to somebody out there. I appreciate you guys watching. You got any other questions or comments or opinions of your own on this, leave it down in the comment section down below, and we will talk to you guys later. Thanks.